Cardinals up 10-0 at halftime over the San Francisco 49ers, but at a pretty large cost. We'll get into it. It's Brack, it's Alex Clancy. It's Locked on Cardinals.
You are Locked on Cardinals, your daily Arizona Cardinals podcast. Part of the Locked on Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Did it finally happen? Did Nick Bosa finally get a sack of Kyler Murray? He did there just before half, took the Arizona Cardinals essentially out of field goal range. Matt Prater wide on the 61-yarder. The Arizona Cardinals do go into halftime, though, with a 10-0 lead. Couple costly injuries. We'll see what the status of Isaiah Simmons is going forward. He was out being just looked like concussion. At least that's what they said in the press box. And then he was back on the sidelines. He was in uniform, but Max Williams looks like he's done, of course, for the game. Hopefully not for the season, but the injury looked ugly on that pass and catch.
Yeah, much like the first half, all in all. You know, just kind of like we kind of saw this potentially coming. The defense played great. Isaiah Simmons, hopefully he'll be back, if not for the rest of this game in week 6. But just another beast mode 1-inch line stop like he had against Derrick Henry in week 1. I mean, the dude is an absolute monster. And the fact that Trey Lance didn't get in, the angle he had was, you know, let's just hope that Isaiah Simmons is better. But all in all, aside from one good drive for the Cardinals offensively, Kyler Murray didn't look great. He got caught like he did as a rookie twice, spinning out with an edge rusher right in his grill. As you mentioned, the one with Nick Bosa towards the end of the first half. But I got to give you credit where credit is due. So far, Rondale Moore looks like the spark on offense that the Cardinals needed and that's keeping them in this game. And obviously James Conner with the punch in from a couple yards in to get them their lone touchdown.
Yeah, you know, you obviously wanted that connection with DeAndre Hopkins. That was a missed opportunity. That was a chance for the Arizona Cardinals to go up 14-0 on third down. It was just kind of a wanky pass from Kyler Murray, who was being moved out of the pocket, and the Arizona Cardinals missed out on that. But still, you know, this defense is playing well. I feel like you took the best shot from the San Francisco 49ers offense, and they still couldn't get in. The Arizona Cardinals on defense 4 for 4 in getting stops against this rookie quarterback. You know, I don't think that they're going to pitch a perfect, you know, a shutout here. So it's going to be important for the Arizona Cardinals to tack on. It's a bummer that, you know, Murray suffers that sack. It was kind of soon after the Max Williams injury. And you got to wonder if that played into the role of him being, you know, vulnerable in that situation. But the Arizona Cardinals, you know, it wasn't great. This is kind of a game that the 49ers wanted it to be, but at the same token, the Arizona Cardinals are sitting here in a 2-possession game. Just got to keep adding on. I mean, once again, they're going to come out of halftime with the ball and a chance to put points on the board. They better put this thing away.
Yeah. Good on Cliff for kicking the field goal there. I feel like last year he probably would have gone for it there to try and go up 2 full touchdown scores, knowing the points are a premium for the 49ers with Trey Lance under center. Smart to take the 3, even though it was kind of a disappointing 3 with DeAndre Hopkins being so wide open on the crossing route, as you mentioned, with Kyler Murray kind of throwing the duck that fell to the ground. I mean, all in all, they just need to keep Trey Lance in front of him. Trey Lance had 47 yards rushing, I think, in the first half. They ran for about 80 yards total. That was the extent of their offense, aside from one, you know, chunk catch by Deebo Samuel. They had a couple drops, which benefited the Cardinals. They just need to get out of the next 30 minutes with a win and no more injuries, with Isaiah Simmons and Max Williams already going down in the first half.
Yeah, you said it. I mean, I completely agree with that. Just looking at everything else, I mean, Kyler Murray, you said, you know, not a fantastic start. He decent, 15 for 20, 158, no touchdowns either way on the ground or throughout the air. But Rondale Moore is just the absolutely absurd circus catch on the sideline where he had a 49ers player draped all over him just before, and he gets the toe tap. And then, you know, you got an absurd catch from DeAndre Hopkins, and it's like it's not fair to an undermanned San Francisco 49ers team, but yet here we are, and the Cardinals, you know, the Niners are within striking distance. They need to put up points in the first drive of the second half. That just has to happen if they really just want to put this one, you know, out of reach for the most part against kind of a struggling Niners offense.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if you can go down the field and score a touchdown here, that means that they're going to have to throw the ball, which will benefit the defense. Like, this game could get really ugly really quickly if the Cardinals go down and score a touchdown right here.
Yeah.
And these are games you have to win. Like, most of the games the Cardinals have played this year have been high flying, a lot of points scored, things like that. This is their first ugly game in the first half. And if they can look fine, I mean, they're running the ball pretty much when they want to. They haven't had a whole lot of offensive plays, even though they were on the field for longer in the first half than the 49ers were. But this offense, it reminds me of the Lamar Jackson offense in Baltimore his rookie year, where it's like, we're not going to throw the ball.
Yeah.
We're not going to throw the ball. So stop the run. Elijah Mitchell looks good. And like, they got a momentum going with the rush attack in the first half for a little bit there, but bend don't break, and that's pretty much what it's been. Just look for Kyle Shanahan to kick field goals here in the second half and not go for it on fourth down. If they can kick long field goals here to get points on the board, they will.
Yeah, I think they're probably confident in their defense. The Arizona Cardinals, as far as just execution and really kind of taking advantage of these mismatches, they can do it. They're getting the pressure up front from their front seven that they needed to get. Arizona Cardinals, they're doing a good job with their front seven and making up for the fact that they're missing two key members of their defensive secondary. You get the pick right out of the gates from Budda Baker. Maybe another chance, maybe an opportunity created once again from this defense being opportunistic against the guy who did kind of find a rhythm, as you mentioned. They got the run game going for the most part, but then I thought the Arizona Cardinals were able to kind of, once they got that stop right there on the goal line, that they were able to kind of settle in. They got an easier stop the next drive. We'll see what kind of adjustments are made. What can Cliff Kingsbury do as far as the offensive play caller for the Cardinals to kind of combat what the Niners defense is doing and maybe put up points right out of the gates?
Yeah. I mean, I'm assuming that Cliff has, a couple set plays rolling for, okay, if they're up like we thought they were going to be, I want to see how aggressive they're going to be, because you don't want to get cute either. You don't want to just, okay, let's run the clock out and, let's eat clock and hope the run game can work and, the whole thing. Throw the ball downfield. Let's roll. I mean, we saw a couple shots, the one with Kyler that obviously was a miscommunication with DeAndre Hopkins towards the tail end of the first half. It just, it feels kind of, in games like this in the last 2 years, the Cardinals would be down 10-0 at halftime. Yeah. But the fact that they're up, it's a different side that you're on. And it's like, it's ugly, but they're winning ugly, and that's good because you got to be able to win all kinds of ways with the defense leading the way, against a rookie quarterback in his first start. Like, do you think the defense looks good, or is this Trey Lance?
I think it's a good mix. I mean, this is a defense that's missing a couple key players. I mean, you're missing a guy who's emerged in Byron Murphy as one of the better corners in the league. I mean, he's got 3 picks through 4 games. He's been a playmaker out there. And I don't think that Byron Murphy would have as many open receivers as he's even seeing if Byron Murphy, number 7, were on the field. Same thing goes for Marco Wilson, but more so with Murphy. But, the reality is you're still pitching a shutout, and it's still one of those things that we've been calling for all year, and they've answered the bell, but the offense they need to put this game away. It's a good chance for this offense, after having a slow start, much kind of like Jacksonville, for them to come out of the gates. And if you go up, even 13-0, it just seems like an insurmountable lead for the San Francisco 49ers right now. If it's 17-0, I really like the chances of going 5-0. I do feel like the chances of going 5-0 from what I've seen. It's just the offense needs to finish drives now. Just need to see the offense finish some drives.
Do you think that they just need to stop with the pass rush as much as they've been trying to rush the pass on the edges? Because it's leaving open. The offensive line is very good for the 49ers. It's above average with Mike McGlinchey and Trent Williams as their bookends and Alex Mack under center. Like, is it worth just kind of like, let's drop some more back into coverage and let this kid throw the ball and keep everything in front, a la the Kyler Murray against Kyler Murray defense for the second half of last year? Like, is it just, let's just chill. I mean, and you and I both know that Vance Joseph is a fantastic halftime adjuster. So maybe we will see that.
I mean, 4 for 4. I mean, the one drive where they went deep into the territory of the Arizona Cardinals, and it needed Isaiah Simmons making an unbelievable just demon play, as Kyler Murray would call it. I mean, then they didn't really get anything going offensively. So I'll take what they're doing. I don't think they need to change anything up. But real quick, tight end position going forward. I mean, I don't want to throw dirt on Max Williams has been fantastic this year. What's the solution going forward? Do you think they have to be proactive and hit the trade market, trade block this week?
Yeah, I do. I mean, it's unfortunate because the Eagles look decent enough in that wacko NFC East.
They got a crappy win today,
Yeah, they got a crappy win today. But Zach Ertz has caught at least one touchdown pass, I think, the first 4 weeks. Dallas Goedert hasn't looked fantastic. The makeup of the team is completely different now with Jalen Hurts under center and in shotgun, taking snaps. So I would 100%, I would trade a 5th-round pick for Zach. Just get somebody that's played tight end in the NFL that can catch passes, that, can keep defenses on and be able to beat a linebacker off the break. They need somebody. They don't have any tight ends anymore without Max Williams there.
Yeah, Darrell Daniels potentially could fill the void as far as
he caught one touchdown pass against Carolina last year.
I mean, I'm talking run blocking for the most part, and then playmaking. Yeah, figure it out going forward. But big loss potentially for the Arizona Cardinals. You've got so many receivers, so many weapons on the field. Got to take advantage of that. DeAndre Hopkins, maybe dial him up a lot more in the second half than you did in the first half. Want to see more of Rondale Moore. Got to see some AJ Green and Christian Kirk. And if they can just get it going, put this thing away early in the second half. And then, as a team that's taking its lumps right now, getting battered a little bit with injuries, get out of here with a W. Let's get into the second half. We'll have your podcast shortly after the Cardinals game against the 49ers, up 10-0. Enjoy the second half. Hit us up on Twitter at LockedOnAZCards, at Clancy's Corner, and at BLBRACK. We'll talk to you guys soon. Let's win this game.